Hello everybody, this is Retro Beard here again. It's Saturday, so I'm doing my Saturday Retro Ramblings issue 3. I just want to, before I get started, just remind you all, if you like my videos and all my content, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell and share. And I really appreciate all the support and help I've had so far. It's been great. Just for anybody who's viewing this for the first time, this is a weekly series I do every Saturday where it's unscripted. I just have my tablet for any reminders or key points to help reduce my chances of missing it. And I just talk about various things, like whatever comes to my head or what I've been up to, or any finds I've had this week, that week, or whatever. So I'd like to get started with, say if you've got any questions to ever ask me, or suggestions, or positive and negative feedback, please always feel free to give it, and try and keep it constructive and, you know, nice please if possible. And if you ever want me to do anything a bit crazy, like any of the panel members from my my retrospective videos, you want them to come in and do anything wacky, I'll do that, because I like to be, you know, a bit of a twit sometimes. You know, usually I'm a twit, not on purpose, but I'll do it on purpose for you guys. I'll show you this week's finds, what I've got. I've got this little beauty from the local QD store. I needed a new pen, and I was there, I looked and they had this. Its original price of $4.99. I mean, as much as I love a bit of Mario, I'm not $4.99 for a pen kind of guy. But marked down to £1.99. Yeah, I think I've got a bargain here. You can't be a bit of Toad, can you? I always enjoy being Toad in Mario Kart, so quite impressed with this. I may even open it and actually use it to write with, you know, you never know. I got this for just a couple of quid. Codename Steam for the 3DS. It's new, and as you can see, it's sealed. Factory sealed still. You know, just for a couple of quid. I mean, for that price, even I can do that. And it came out, I think it came out a bit late in the 3DS's life, and I don't think it's a particularly amazingly popular game, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good, and for a couple of quid, it hasn't got to be the best, does it? So I'm pretty impressed with that. Part of a good series as well, I believe. So, oh, it says you can reinforce your team with Fire Emblem amiibo, so that's good. People who enjoy that. The next one is another one that came out even later in the life of the 3DS, and it's even more a one that I believe isn't tremendously popular, but it seems to be quite well liked by those who do have it. Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers for the 3DS. Once again, I paid a couple of quid. So, and this is new and sealed. So you know, for that price, for what you're getting, you just can't go wrong for a couple of quid. Even if you play it just occasionally when you're bored, a couple of quid. I mean, I'm not a kind of guy who keeps stuff new and sealed. But I don't open it there and then. I open it when I'm ready to play with it. So I'm sort of in middle ground between the guy who rips the packet open and the guy who keeps it on his shelf like Gollum's Precious, you know. I kind of in the middle ground. I'll open it when I'm ready, so which probably will be soon. I got, although I've already got this next game on my Xbox One X. Well, I've seen this PlayStation 3. For just a couple of quid once again. And I'm not an expert on this game, but I bitted and bobbed on it, and I will do some playthroughs in future. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good game. I know it's not one of the most popular of the series. It was a bit divisive amongst, you know, but I know this sounds perhaps selfish, but ultimately I'm mainly interested in what I think about a game. Like, I love hearing from other people's views, their positive and negative feedback, their opinions. I love their reasons. It's not that I'm oblivious or ignorant, but when it comes to the crunch, the game we put in and we play, if we're enjoying it or not enjoying it, that's what really matters at the end of the day. I know that's probably obvious, but sometimes people who want to argue don't get that they're allowed to not like something and you are allowed to like something, and vice versa. I don't get why people try and force their opinions on others. I don't get that, but you know, that's besides the point. So once again, for a few quid, and it's complete in good condition. So for a few quid, I mean, you're not these days. What do you get for a couple of quid? You don't get nothing, do you? So there you go. And for symmetry's sake and for pure coincidence, I got this for a couple of quid. The next one, and I love the that traditional Final Fantasy artwork on the cover. I love that stuff. That goes right back to the old days of the earlier titles, and I love it. So yeah, once again, just a couple of quid and complete, pretty decent condition. No complaints here. And once again, for a couple of quid, what else are you going to get? You can't even buy a hamburger, can you? Well, you might get it on the Savers menu, but Savers menu, you eat it, it's gone, you're hungry an hour later, you get this, you've got a game for, what, 40, 50 hours, maybe more. So, better value for money than a Savers menu burger. And that is the total of my pickups. I've got a few more. I'll have items to show you every week, because sometimes I have stuff that I've never got out, or you know. So, but you know, that's a nice little set of things without such a big amount of things like last week, because my Ghibli collection was a bit much. Yeah, so pretty impressed with that. News in the gaming world that interests me. Well, I'm really late on this one, so don't laugh too much. I didn't know that they'd completely finished manufacturing the 3DSs, because I do love 3DSs. I had a 2DS years ago, original 2DS, you know, the slate type ones. That I liked it because I was quite hard up back then, and I got it because it was cheap, and for the price that the 2DSs were, you know, I think they were fantastic value, and you know, you include the library and all the eShop stuff you can do. I had quite a lot of fun on it, and then I upgraded to a 2DS XL when that came out new, and absolutely loved it. I loved it. But then it's quite embarrassing. I wanted to upgrade the battery to a higher capacity one, because I'm from the old days where your original Game Boy, your Game Boy Color, your Game Boy Advance, and even your DS, they had massive battery life. You know, you could squeeze about 26 hours out of a Game Boy. And all the others, those other models, they did tons of hours, like 13, 14 hours minimum. And I've always hated how the new handhelds have a really atrocious battery life. So I wanted to upgrade the battery on my 2DS XL to something that gave it more like 12, 13 hours, you know, a bit more in line. Well, I botched it, because I have my moments where I'm a bit cack-handed, and I did some damage, and I just upset me. So my 2DS XL time was over, and then this year I went and finally, after you know, a couple of years off, this year I finally got another one used, but pretty much as new. It's one of them sort of people who sell one cheap, where they've used it once and it was an unwanted gift. So I treated myself, and now I'm back into the 3DS world again. And I do like my 2DS XL models, because I'm not really interested in 3D itself. Yeah, so fantastic. Oh yes, sorry, the gaming news. Yeah, so as you all probably know, and I'm the last in the party, they've completely stopped manufacturing the 3DS, so it's the end of an era. So I'm just going to go along and happily grab all the software dirt cheap I want, and you know, and have a library that's timeless, because the graphics on it and things will never look bad. They're fantastic, and the gameplay. So I guess the 3DS is slowly going to become a retro. I know everybody's a different opinion of what retro is and isn't, but once again, personal opinion. To me, anything that's no longer being made is retro, but whatever. My Instagram is doing well. I'm getting closer and closer to 5,000 followers, so thanks for all the support on that, anyone, and help, and we'll keep building it up. Because at the end of the day, this is an extension of that. I'm only doing my YouTube because my Instagram, and it's showing me I can do it, and eventually I'm going to start streaming once I get a proper capture card, because my current capturing I do through Xbox One. I either plug in my Retron, Retro Freak, sorry. I either plug the HDMI lead from my Retro Freak into the back of my Xbox One's HDMI input, and then I stream it to my laptop and record it that way. And I do the same when I record footage for Xbox One games, apart from I don't need to plug it in because obviously it is the system, but I stream it to my laptop, you know, using Microsoft stuff, which is great, but I don't think it's really robust enough for live streaming because I've had a few little problems. So I'm going to get a capture card eventually, but I've got to raise some funds for that, and I've got to see which model, because I'm absolutely clueless. Capture card seems to be a minefield, because everybody's talking about Elgatos, but then I hear they're not so great for retro gaming. So I want one that I can do modern and retro. When I say retro, I don't mean with the old inputs, because all of my retro consoles have got HDMI solutions like RetroTinks and stuff. But I wouldn't mind being able to record from PlayStation 3, from PlayStation 1 and 2 and all that, and anything else I get out, like a Saturn or anything. So I'm looking for that all-in-one solution that can do 1080p 60 frames per second. I don't need anything higher than that. So if you've got any suggestions that'll do that, fantastic. That plays nicely with the Rad2X, plays nicely with the PlayStation 3, because of that problem the PlayStation 3 has with recording. I can't think of the name of it now. Sync stripping or something. If anybody knows a capture card that's, well, not too much money. I don't, because I'm building my kit up a bit at a time. You know, perhaps up to £100 or something, or cheaper ideally. I don't even mind one of these Chinese ones as long as they do the job. So I've been going down the minefield and the rabbit hole that is capture cards and looking at models. It seems to be USB 3 is essential for the proper data flow. Output more important than input. But I think 1080p 60 frames per second USB 3 is a fairly modest set of requirements. I also need it where it can do looping, I think it's called, where you can have a cable to your laptop and a cable to the device. Yeah, or something like that. But anybody who knows about capture cards will be able to educate me rather than me trying to say it. So I'd appreciate that. Yeah, is there anything else? Oh yes, please watch my video on every Wednesday, because I'm doing playthroughs, and my retrospectives are going to be a bit less often because I'm not happy with the quality of a few of them. I mean, I know they've been received well, but I have my own personal standards, so they're going to come out, but they're going to be specials, and my playthroughs, because my playthroughs seem to be really well enjoyed. And yeah, I'm going to now, actually, my good friend Retro Wolf 13, who very kindly gave me a shout out, which I really appreciate. He's a fantastic guy, so I recommend you go over to his channel and check it out, because he's the real deal. He's like Doctor Who with all his gadgets and all his devices. He's amazing. He's just got the retro collection, he's got modern technology, devices, gadgets. He's amazing. He's one of a kind. He's sort of like the guy off James Bond who gives him all the devices. Q, was it? He used to give him all the gizmos. Here's your watch with a laser beam, Mr. Bond. He's one of them sort of guys. But he asked about my my wooden dummy in the background. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that and thought, what the heck's that? He really knew what it was. So I'll show it to him if I can get my camera to behave. Sorry about the dodgy footage. There we go. Yeah, I'll get the chair to the side. It's a special one because it's a corner freestanding one. I've got sandbags on the back so I can wallop it when I occasionally want to work out. And I'm not some kung fu master, but I do enjoy a bit of training here and there. So, apologise for the dodgy camera skills. So, and hopefully that wasn't too crazy. And this is Retro Beard and his no face cushion signing off. Thank you. You all take care and have a fantastic weekend. And thanks and cheers for all you've done. See you later.